to be the kind of wife that God called you to be, to serve your husband the way you were called to serve, you have to treat your husband like your career. Hey lovies, welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you have been here before. My name is Shan and I am so happy to have you here. Do not hesitate to catch up on some old videos so you can get to know me better, and then of course you can get to know what my channel is about. If you haven't watched my August vlog yet, I think it is called August monthly vlog. If you haven't watched it yet, you can watch it right after you see this. If you have, you would have seen me feature this book on the vlog. It is called A Woman After God's Own Heart by Elizabeth George. She's also the author of a couple other books. This one featured here is called Loving God with All Your Mind. Let me tell you something. I have read a lot of books in my lifetime. I've read a lot of inspiring books, self-help books. And when I tell you that this book here has changed my perspective, changed my mind, and changed my heart in more ways than I can even mention, take it from me. I have never done a book review ever, by the way. I have mentioned a book on here. I didn't even come back to review it yet. I will, of course. But this one, this was my August read. And let me just tell you, let me back up a little bit. Yeah, felt like I was all up in your face just now. If you are a woman, whether you're married or unmarried, whether you have children or not, wherever it is that you are, whether you're a stay-at-home mom, you're a working mom, career woman, whatever, there is something in this book for you. This woman knows her stuff. So you can tell when you read this book that she didn't just write because she wanted her name on a book. She actually knows what she's talking about. Everything that she mentions in the book, she gives you biblical reference. So it's not a case like, oh, I'm just saying this. You actually get the reference in it so you can go double check it for yourself. The whole idea of this book is, even if you're not a Christian or you're not that deep in your faith, it helps you to be a better person. From a biblical perspective, yes, but a better woman, a better wife in preparation, a better mom in preparation, a better servant, a better church member. I'll just tell you what she covers in here so you can get an idea what I'm talking about. All right, so she speaks of the pursuit of God is number one. That is part one, where she speaks about your heart devotion, abiding in God's word, etc., etc. Part two is about the pursuit of God's priorities. What she lists here as the priorities are your husband, your children, and your home. She does have subsection, but go get the book, okay? Don't walk, run. Also in the priorities is herself, her ministry, and then part three covers the practice of God's priorities. She lists what the priorities are to start, and then she ends with practicing these priorities. I have had my perspective change. I have been convicted. In the past couple of months, God has been working on me with a lot of things, and I'm so grateful. Things that I won't mention yet. I'll let him finish what he's doing, but I've been led to particular scriptures and they keep popping up, whether someone shares it with me or I open a book and that's what is there. But she says some things in this book that if you're not at the place to receive it, you might not. So for example, if you're a woman who's very masculine, you might struggle with this book, because it got to a point where she said, in order to be a godly wife, to be the kind of wife that God called you to be, to serve your husband the way you were called to serve, you have to treat your husband like your career. Meaning the same effort that you put into fighting to get to the top of the career ladder, it's the same effort that is required for you to be a godly wife and to serve your husband the way he deserves to be served. She speaks also about how we serve our children, how we should find joy in the simple things, how we should make time, how we should make our house a home so our children can feel at home. You know that Proverb 31 woman that everyone talks about? I'm a Proverb 31 woman. Well, this tells you in details what is required for you to be that woman to your children, to your husband, to your peers, to your church. And let me tell you, it was rough reading some of the things because I knew God was convicting me and I know where it's coming from. I know what happened, what caused that. It's trauma. And a lot of times the things that we hold on to, and she even mentions that because she said what the older woman should be doing for the younger woman in the church is admonishing them to be good wives and to take care of their homes. But instead, the older woman that should be teaching younger women how to be good wives and how to be good moms, they're actually bitter at this young woman. That's not in the book, but that's actually what's happening. They are traumatized from the hurt that they personally suffered. And so now when you look, like, say, on social media, all you see is a lot of older women born in the 60s and 70s. Instead of teaching young women how to be good wives and teaching them how to be discerning of good husbands, instead they're passing on the bitterness. They're saying, hey girl, you cannot trust men. Trust me, I know, I was whatever. And that's what she's talking about here, that they are forgetting their roles. They're not doing what they're called to do. A lot of the bitterness and the hatred that young women carry, it's because of older women. It's because of what was told to us when we were younger. We are growing up and we're hearing our mothers or aunts or neighbors or teachers instilling in us, do not trust men. Men are the worst. Men are horrible beings. Men will do you the worst of things. Men cannot this, men cannot. And then we take that on. So we grow up, and let's be fair, leave it in the comment section. A lot of the ways that you view men, is it really because of your personal experience or what you've heard or what you've been told? There are young women who say, oh, I don't want to be married. I don't aspire for marriage. And why do they say that? Not because of their own personal experience, not because they've ever been married, not because they've experienced anything close to what a marriage looks like, but they're speaking based on what they've heard, what's been passed on to them. And that's what Elizabeth George is saying in this book. The older woman, instead of passing that down, teach younger women how to care for their home, teach them how to serve their husbands, teach them how to take care of their kids. We are lacking that in this generation. I'm a millennial, and I know it's getting worse because we're passing down what we received. The way I grew up, I knew my mother had a heart to serve because I saw how she served the church and I saw how she served the young people. However, she was married to the wrong man, so I never saw an example of how to serve a man. Things like these I am learning now. I've been married before, and a lot of things about service and being a godly wife and being a helpmate, I am just now learning. In this season, God is literally just now downloading it. I guess before I wasn't ready to receive it. I wasn't healed enough to receive what needs to be received. I guess my system was probably blocked off from all that. But I say that to say this book right here, if you are even this woman that she speaks of, if you're already this person, like, this makes a perfect gift. I'll leave it right here, right there. I'll put a picture of it so you can see it too. You can get it on Amazon, I'm sure. But even if you already know that you are that woman, you can gift this to a young woman that you know, whether married or unmarried, because she also speaks in the book about how important it was for her to see good examples, or to have access to good examples of good wives and good mothers. She spoke about people that she went to straight up to ask them, hey, how do you clean your home? Hey, how do you serve your husband? And she said, I think she mentioned where she was in some meeting one night, and the way they spoke, she knew that was God speaking to her. And so Elizabeth said she went home and she said to her husband, whenever you want me, whenever you call me, I'm in full service to you, body and all. Like, listen, I'm sure homie was like, yeah. I was like, I want to go back to church tomorrow. I'm sure. But these are things, like I said, that people don't talk about in a positive light. When a woman says, I surrender my body, my mind to my husband, people look at it as, look what he's going to do to you. But that's literally what the Bible said. That's what the Bible said. And if you're going to be a woman after God's own heart in whatever capacity, wherever it is that you are on your journey, you have to understand what God is calling you to do, what is required of you. Even if you are not a Christian and you say God is who He is, God is Savior, God is your supreme being, there are still things that will not work unless they go according to the word. And so reading this book has been a real pleasure for me. I think I'm actually going to reread it. There are also stuff there that she gives you activities to do, and she not only tells you what you need to do, and that's what I love, she also tells you how to go about it, how to start, how to follow through, and she gives you activities to focus on, which covers the same: being a wife, being a mother, being in service, if you work, how to balance all that. But overall, I'll say this is a really good book. If you can get your hand on a copy, I would definitely recommend it. I don't know if there's an audio version. There probably is. So if you're not, there probably is. So if you're not a reader, then maybe you can purchase the audio version. But listen, girl, like I said, do not walk, run. Get this book. If you do get the book, you read it and you get something from it, find this video, come back, drop it in the comments below. Let me know what you feel about the book. Let me know if it was a good suggestion, and also comment and let me know if you would like for me to share my monthly reads, because that's one of the things that I started doing. I am now setting a book in place, whatever that book is, to be read in a month. So whether it is that I'll be able to read every day or not, the goal is to complete that book by the end of the month. So if you want to take on this challenge, you can too, and I'll be more than happy to share my books with you, let you know what I'm reading, and you can also let me know what you're reading. You might come across something that I would love to read. Thank you so very much for watching this video. Do not forget to like, share, subscribe, and of course send this to a friend of yours, a female friend who you know is trying to become a woman after God's own heart, because this video and this book might definitely be what she has been looking for. Thank you so very much again for your support, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.